Well, Sabera and Gens, I think, are why we're going to lose here. I'm not on Comet Empire's side. Why the Comet Empire is going to lose here. Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stone-Faced Reactions. I'm Theta, and we're back with another episode of Space Battleship Yamato 2. We are in, I guess the penultimate episode. And then we go on to, as we discussed last time, 2 movies, and then into Space Battleship Yamato 3. We come back as somewhat we normally do with just notes. I did have the board working correctly a moment ago, and then I made some more additions that really messed it up, as per the case. Fortunately, this time, though, we did not have any real additions to make, so it's really just adding up to be everything that needed to be added before, still has to be done, and then I can show it to you. And of course, I'm recording these somewhat back-to-back, which is why there's been no opportunity for comment response. So there's that. So, on to the notes. I get that the last command that the Gamulus fleet got from Dessler's ship was to hold off on the bombardment, but now they're just sitting there, waiting for the Yamato, or sorry, not waiting for, watching the Yamato crew boarding Dessler's ship. I mean, some of the fighting is happening on top of both ships, perfectly viewable by the fleet. Why are they not sending in their own boarding parties to the Yamato? Crush them from both sides. I guess the only explanation for it would have to be a limitation on how much they could animate, and I guess I'm blaming the animation and the writing, not the people in the show. Just not enough time and space in the episode and series for a protracted fight, especially when this isn't even the final boss. If Dessler isn't pulling the same thing he did in the movie, then I have no idea what the point of this slow draw is. He pulls the gun out, pulls it up, and goes, rah, real slow like. I anticipate it's to give Kodai every opportunity to shoot him, and make himself more of a threat to be shot at. Of course, things play out differently here, and Dessler doesn't off himself after a completely different fight. Dessler almost has this confused look on his face when Yuki comes sliding in to protect Kodai after his collapse, almost making me think his heart was changed due to the power of love or something. I mean, he pulls this "I was alone" nonsense and talks about love, but we did see him surrounding himself with Gamulus women early in the first season. I know that doesn't speak to him loving anyone, but he wasn't exactly alone either. I suppose I just don't find this character turn satisfying. It should happen at some point. I'm not unhappy because it happened. I just don't find this sudden introspection of "I never really loved anyone" out of place for this moment. Sorry, I just realized I double negatived myself. I do find it out of place for the moment. Additionally, everything I said before, it would be insane for the people of Earth to ever really forgive Gamulus for what they did. On an interpersonal level with Kodai, there might be something for Dessler. For Gamulus and Earth, I can't imagine there being any forgiveness. Sort of confused about the emergency signal from Earth that the Yamato got. They intentionally didn't communicate with Earth before in order to not give up their position so that they could get closer to the Comet Empire ship for their attack. And then the communications got hit anyways. Additionally, the Earth wasn't aware if Yamato was still around or not. Maybe the base they went to signaled to Earth that they were there, but that would have ruined any surprise that they might have been hatching to ambush the Comet Empire ship. If the Comet Empire just, intercepted the transmission. So I doubt it. So, in my mind, Earth is just sending an emergency message about their surrender, wide beam to everyone. The only logical move would be to say that it's an alert to all of their other now isolated bases across the system about their surrender, to prevent them from doing something reckless. Exactly like the Yamato was about to do. Maybe I've forgotten something here, but when did the Yamato get the plans for the Comet Empire ship to be having this Death Star planning meeting? As I said before, it seems narratively unlikely that Teresa pulled Shima from space and told us about his weak heartbeat just for him to fade away. If this show does one thing over and over again, it's making the heroes emerge victorious. Shima is getting the Kodai's brother treatment this season. He'll either show up at the end, limping back to the crew, or he'll do something during the battle to turn the tide. Scanner ranges in the series are just whatever we want them to be. Giant, most advanced ship we've ever seen, with an entire civilization as its crew, can't detect the Yamato or the fighters on approach. Despite this, the Yamato can see them just fine. And even as I brought up at the end of last episode, what happened to that time radar? Well, that sure came in handy to see the old man pissing on the wall and that one fleet. In my final note, I think it would have been smarter to not turn the ship around and continue sailing into what would have been the battle zone. Sure, it puts the envoys at risk, but it also doesn't warn the Comet Empire to what is coming, which is far more valuable, by the way. Not to be crass, but the only real loss would be Toto. Everyone else in the command structure has been more hindrance than anything else. Now, anyways, you probably can't see it, but I have the episode loaded up already on my end, and I can see frame 0 is not the opening of the show, which it typically is. So it looks like we're going into the final of... What did I say before? I can't remember all of a sudden. The Pen Ultimate episode with something special. So let's go ahead and hop on in and see how this is going to go.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
See, I feel like every episode should have started this way. Just the impactful what's going on right now. Oh, something else I should have noted while we're here in the beginning. Whatever the recruit's name is, I forgot all of a sudden. He was in the episode right where I was asking about where he went. He loaded the map up of the thing. I assume that would have been the name of the episode. And again, mind you, they're communicating right across the Comet Empire. To be that is a fair point. I was just about to say, we can't tell where these guys are for the fighter craft to attack them. I was about to say, what happens if the Comet Empire ship starts rotating here on planet? I just can't imagine they're going to do very much. It's my understanding the entire bottom of the fortress is rock. I keep anticipating he's about to say, Dessler, you betrayed us. Oh, shit. I thought I was gonna get thrown. Oh, crap. That wasn't Akira, was it? I guess not. I guess this also answers the question, what happens if they start rotating on the planet? Nothing. Okay, I guess the part where I thought was the title was actually just more credits. Sorry, I also just realized why this episode is so much louder than the rest of me. Despite the fact that I usually record these at 70% volume, this one spiked back up to 100%. But I don't want to turn it down now, because I'll forget in the editing where I did that. They certainly had more of a budget this episode, I'll give them that. I mean, why don't they just keep attacking the bottom? It's not protected by the barrier.
Yamatoが行く. Daisuke 兄ちゃん、頼むよ。地球を救えるのはヤマトだけなんだ。
Sorry, more about the it was more about the person than the commentary. I mean, granted, though, at the same time, I don't understand how the Yamato is going to win when the entire Defense Force fleet filled with Andromedas couldn't. Yeah, duh, it's the same way attacking Yamato from the bottom. There's no guns down there. Have you ever read the Terran Trade Authority? That looked like the Proxima Centauri fighters. That looked like more the main bridge than the second bridge. How did they shoot the second bridge with those guns? Common Empire ship's up there. Yamato's down here. It's going this way, which means the second bridge is down here, underneath it. Alright, so much for them being defenseless down here. Why did we bring this guy aboard? I feel like maybe I'm watching like a special edition where they've added him to scenes or added extra scenes for him. Legitimately, the last thing he did was piss me off, so I don't know how to feel about him dying. Like, he's been the worst character all season. And here in the death battle, he's like, oh, I gotta brush my hair in the mirror. What the fuck? I don't think the whole Yamato can fit in there. According to the movie, yes. And my exploding arms and legs. I swear to God, something flew into my eyes before this episode started. What a weird way to pilot. You see, the thing is, he's like laying in there like he's Diva from Overwatch. Oh shit, I really didn't see anybody eject. So that's Rookie and Yamamoto. Commercial break. And we're back. It really looks a lot smaller from the camera view that we got before. You could really make a video game out of this. This is like a Contra level. Yeah, seriously, how has not one of them been hit? This is a gauntlet. They just ran through a bullet hell. I think the few of them dangerous. Well, Sabera and Gents, I think, are why we're gonna lose here. I'm not on Comet Empire's side. Why the Comet Empire is going to lose here. Radiation? Just blow the whole thing up. It's exactly the same as before, and they just ran through the last one. Well, to be fair, now we're down to everyone with a name.
途中ゴンドラがあった。使えるかもしれない。行ってみよう。乗るぞ。伏せろ、斉藤。
臭くてかなわねえ。残飯運送用のゴンドラが水星帝国の奴らも飯を食うのがね。
Okay, their helmets are up. Okay. I was like, if this is the same argument for these being environmental suits, then how the hell can you smell it? And brief moments of comedy. Legs to spare. He's gonna be fine. Well, that was a lucky fucking... Better not lose my guy. He's my favorite. I mean, is that leg still have an explosive in it? Detonate that. This better not be reverse. If memory serves, left him behind in the movie and he died too. Severa and Gens, what did I say? I'm an idiot, that's what's happening. Literally, pull off your other leg, set it to explode, and chuck it. I guess there's enough respect there to not argue with him in what could be his final moments. They really tried to pack as much character development as they could into this guy. I mean, this is basically where he dies in the movie, too. Except we just find him later standing dead. In fact, I think he was standing there, dead, in the movie. Yeah, but what if there's other people inside the door? You'd be fucked. I mean, it's a death mission for you anyway, but... I mean, worse also, you're just assuming that it's set. Also, I believe he dies here in the movie, too. So we're 2 people down, but we're still way better off than we were in the movie. That's the changes that we made.
するぞ頼む
Oh no, is he injured? Is he gonna die on the way? Oh, that's right. Wasn't he dead in the seat? When we get back and he's just dead on the Yamato? Yeah, this is basically how I assumed he died before, just holding the path. Real Scarface exit.
よし OK だ
I thought it was on a timer. Well, regardless of how much we didn't like him throughout the series, he went out a man. I'd say hats off to Saito, but obviously the only thing I can take off is the headset. Yeah, he's definitely dead back there.
生きて帰ったのはどうやら俺たちだけらしいぞ
Yep, following the fucking movie.
カト
I believe that's our two named fighter pilots now gone.
サーベラお前の独断のおかげで多くの兵士たちが命を失った責任を取れゲイニッツラーゼラお前たちも同罪だ
What did Rosella do?
お前たちのような部下
It's all Gens and Sabera.
一人で戦うことにした
私を置いていかないで大体大体大体
I legit don't understand that they're in any position of danger wherever the hell they are.
艦長代理無事でしたか見てください都市帝国が停止しています大きな犠牲だったサイト山本ブラックタイガー
And the entire Earth Defense Force fleet. Let's not forget all the people there.
全方門を開いて都市帝国を砲撃しろ
Hey, remember when they said most of those guns were inoperative? What the fuck is this? The whole point of us only using the torpedoes before was that those were the only real weapons we had left. You know, I really hate to be that guy right now. What if there's innocent Common Empire civilians? That those are also cities? But then again, are we going to get a Kodai Gamlis thing again? Where he considers the weight of the death that he just wrought amongst a population? Oh right, there was a giant ship in there in the movie. And there it is, the giant black ship. Which I feel like I have to say is somehow bigger than the Common Empire ship was to begin with. Oh, harsh. Oh, I was going to say, the narrator's calling us a fool for a second. Okay, so I guess the impetus was that they left, whatever that third guy's name was, I forgot all of a sudden, Gantz and Sabera on the other thing, which is now gone, so they're dead. Okay, so the movie is named after next episode, Be Forever Yamato. Or one of them is. Sorry, I forgot the order of operations. I have it listed elsewhere. So yeah, things are almost essentially as bad as they were before. I can't remember if Yuki died before next episode or in whatever the events of next episode would be. I think they have to be before then. On Black Tiger, my guess is that Black Tiger is Kato's call sign or nickname. Translator note from the thing. I assumed he meant the Black Tiger Squadron, and that the entire Black Tiger Squadron seems to be dead. That, Kato would have been the last survivor of the Black Tiger Squadron had he made it to the ship, but he did not. Yeah. Saito delivered a death that essentially leaves me forgiving him for the entirety of what happened during the show. But even then, he was like developing as a character the same way that Kodai did all throughout season 1. And, you know, that's the element of it, that characters can develop over time. And what was it? Not Shima, sorry. The names, I don't know why the names keep escaping me. I always want to say Shiro, and it's the guy who survived here, the guy with the artificial limbs, the engineering guy that I love. But I'm thinking of the guy Kodai was fighting with the entire first season, or the entire beginning of first season. And it was easier before. No, it is Shima. Okay. We had Shiro and Shima, and that's what's throwing me off. Shima really developed over time. Kodai really developed over time. Their relationship with one another really developed over time. So, yeah. There's no telling that if Saito hadn't, defied fate to not have the same fate as he did during the movie, that he might not have become a better character. So I'll forgive him for all of his past transgressions, for the element of what he pulled here. And I think we all loved Scarface. So the element that we get a real Scarface moment from him, also pretty fucking awesome. I don't think we got Zordar abandoning Sabera and Gens, and again, the other guy's name, who I just cannot remember off the top of my head. The same way there. So the element that he just like, you stay here, and then I'm gonna take this ship and rip this whole fucking thing apart. It's a little bit more damning. But then again, they made themselves more conspiratorial here than they ever were in the movie. So I guess it's kind of befitting their fate. It's a really good episode. There's elements here that I think are really done a lot better than the movie. There's also things here that I think the nitpicking that I do makes it seem like they forgot stuff. The element of we're doing the torpedo thing because it's really the only weapons we got left. And yes, I know that some of the guns were still remaining. They said like 2 of them were inoperative, and they've got, 5 or 6? I think they got 2 on the front, 3 in the back. It's either that or they got 6, whatever. But the point is that all the guns were firing there at the end. At some point, I'm going to stop giving them the hand wave of, they just repair shit really fast. Because it's bullshit. The same way that the time radar was bullshit, and we used that twice. I don't know what to do with that information. Other than to complain about it. Obviously, I'm in favor of the fact that Dessler survives the show where he doesn't the movie. But then again, who's to say that Dessler doesn't turn around and help them at the end? Maybe that's the element of Gamela's forgiveness, is that, hey, they did all that horrible stuff before, but they also did save us here at the end, too. I don't know. Maybe. The element is that we still got Teresa out there, and Teresa could still pull what she pulled in the movie. Although, I guess technically she couldn't. She's not made of antimatter. But at the same time, she could still do something. She's still super powerful here without her technology. She can just float out into space and do whatever she's going to do. Yeah, very entertaining episode. I guess I'm damned because I was rooting for Rookie to get the fuck out of the show, and now he's the fuck out of the show. He's one additional death that the movie never had because he didn't exist there. But again, the last thing he did was piss me off. Oh, Mom, Grandma said, brush his hair in mirror when we're trying to do something fucking important. I don't know, fuck that guy. I understand that this is essentially one of the most emotional episodes, but the fact is I am riding this on my memories of the movie, And my memories of the movie is more so in what comes after this. Everyone's dead. Yuki was dead again. It's basically Kodai and the memories of the Ghost crew riding into the sunset. It was really hard to defeat the emotionality of the movie's end, especially when we're doing them in like 20-minute cycles. So the element herein is that I have time to sit and think about who died and the ramifications of who died and the interconnectedness of the buildup of all the time we've spent together with those people that died, and just to let that wash over and fade away. Versus the movie, it's, oh god, I don't have time to let this sink in. I'm getting to the next thing. Well, technically, in the pacing of Yamato, I've got plenty of time to let it sink in because I really want to like drill it into your head, right? You spend a lot of time on the bridge staring out with like dead Yuki and then the ghost of the people that died sitting around you, and the sad music plays. So you got plenty of time to consider all the stuff that's happened in the movie. Again, that was my point here. The difference between the two being the show. After this ends, my plan is to record the final episode tomorrow. So again, it'll all be back to back. So yeah, I guess I don't have that much more to talk about. Off the top of my head, obviously, what I said before is that recency bias rules when it comes to post-credit discussion or post-episode discussion, especially when it's just me solo, because the more important stuff near the end is what I remember, and right now my memory swells with Zordor abandoning the last members of his like cabinet, Saito heroically pulling a Scarface to set off the bomb. Just don't shoot me in the heart, you know? The anticipation for the people that I remember dying in the movie to die, vis-a-vis Kato wounded in the Black Tiger. Yeah, I think essentially that's it. I don't have much to say about their initial attack on Earth, other than the element was all of the Earth defense in space? Is there no aircraft that they could have done the same things with on the planet? I don't know. There's a lot of stuff in Space Battleship Yamato that if you take like 5 seconds thinking about it, that if this was a duo show with me and Lessons, we'd have a lot of stuff to discuss. The fact that there's no Earth-based defense, right? There's no aircraft, bombers, a navy, that the moment that the thing landed in the water, it wasn't getting attacked on all sides by the entire, planetary defense. That everything that we had was either a space-based force or a satellite system. And beyond that, it was it. Which is very ironic, given the fact that the whole show is based on an ocean-going vessel converted to space travel. That we have no ships left anymore. Despite the fact that the Envoy ship that they were going in looks like it could have been some sort of ocean-going battleship. Well, anyway, as I said, I think that's really the end of my notes here, or my post-episode thoughts. Obviously, I'll come back next episode with notes. So, until then, once again, I have been Theta, this has been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you again next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?